Hey guys, and welcome to Yoga for Techies. Today's practice is all about opening our shoulders and bringing some life into our hips. It's a very short practice. It doesn't take more than 10 minutes. And I have designed this practice originally for my son's baseball team so that they can really open up their shoulders and warm up their hips prior to their baseball games. But this practice transfers really well into the world of technology, where we end up sitting for hours and hours in front of our computers with shortened hips or flexed hips, and at the same time we also have our shoulders in a very rounded position. So really opening up the shoulders and engaging or opening up our hips is really the main theme of today's practice. Now, the best part about this practice is that you can do it standing. There's no sitting in this practice, and as such, you actually do not need to have a yoga mat. So if you are in the office or at home and you don't have access to a sitting space or specifically a yoga mat, you can easily do this practice in front of your computer by just watching this video. So with that being said, let's get practicing. Okay, let's get started, shall we? We're going to start in a standing position. Feet are hip width distance apart. Place the hands on your knees and keep your spine, or try to keep your spine as straight as possible. On inhale, and we're going to do a very quick round of cat and cows in standing. So on your inhale, press your hands into your knees, open up the chest, lift up the chin, and on the exhale, reverse that movement, bringing your head into your chin, rounding through the shoulders, exhaling. Let's repeat this 2 more times. Inhale and exhale, rounding through the shoulders, keeping our hands firmly planted into the knees. Inhale and exhale. Hook the thumbs together. Inhale, open up through your chest. Take a deep inhale. And then folding forward with the bend in your knees. Let's grasp the elbows together and just sway side to side. Release the tension. Let the gravity do the work. Pulling the torso down. Make sure that you have a slight bend in your knees so that not enough pressure on your hamstrings at this point in the practice, and just let gravity do the work. Just sway side to side. Feel the pull of the earth working its magic on your shoulders, and see if you can slightly extend one knee then the other. Just really bring a little bit of extension in your hamstrings. Perfect. Let's release the hands down to the floor, slightly bending the knees, hook the thumbs together. Inhale, raise all the way up to standing, and bring the hands down to your sides. We're going to do this one more time and then flow into our sequence. Hook the thumbs together. Inhale, open up, and exhale, folding forward. Grabbing the elbows, bending or swaying side to side, shifting the weight from the left foot into the right. And then on the next inhalation, lifting up and stepping into our warrior two. So the front knee is facing sideways, the back foot is perpendicular to the front. Open up your hands. Let's rotate the palms facing upwards. Holding this for 3 breaths. Make sure you don't lose the back arm. Nice bend in the front knee. You should be able to feel this in your quad. And on the next exhalation, dropping the front elbow to the knee and opening up through an extended side angle. So make sure there's a nice line all the way from your fingertips, running down the side of your body, all the way into that foot, really opening up those shoulders, feeling your side ribs opening up. Holding this for 3 breaths. On the next exhalation, coming back into warrior 2, making sure the front knee is still bent. We're going to bring the right elbow rather, below the left, and take our eagle arms. So wrapping our hands, the right arm below or under the left arm, connecting the palms together, keeping the base or the warrior 2 shape as strong as possible, the foundation, and trying to peel the elbows away from the chest, holding this for 3 breaths. And if for some reason you cannot, or this is not accessible to you, you can take a modification where you are connecting the hands but grabbing the thumb instead of trying to connect the palms together. Making sure that we're still holding that bent knee. 1 more breath. And let's release the eagle arms, straighten the front leg, and then pivot sideways so that both of your feet are facing the side of your mat. Let's inhale, and then slightly bending the knees, folding forward all the way down, dropping the hands to the ground. Feel free to adjust your stance so that you find the optimal amount of stretch in your hamstrings. Make sure you're grounding through the outer edges of your feet, kind of like blades of the skates. And see if you can gradually, if your knees are bent, see if you can start straightening them out to give more extension into your hamstrings. Holding this for 1 more breath. And on the next exhalation, bend the knees and slowly coming up, and we're going to pivot to the other side and take the warrior 2 pose on the other side. So now the other knee is bent. Find your arms, make sure that the palms are facing upwards. Make sure there's a nice bend in the knee. You should feel this in your quad. We're holding this for 3 minutes. Did I say 3 minutes? I meant 3 breaths. That would be too punishing to hold this for 3 minutes. On the next exhale, dropping the front elbow to the knee, opening into an extended side angle. Make sure you're opening through your chest to the sky or the ceiling, depending on where you're doing this. Make sure you're not collapsing forward. You should feel this in your side ribs. And as you are holding this pose, think about reaching as far as you can with your hand, and at the same time driving that back foot into the ground as far as possible, creating that nice line running alongside your body. Holding this for 2 more breaths. And then the next exhalation, coming back into warrior 2. This time around, we're going to take eagle arms with the left elbow going under the right. One side is always more challenging than the other. Remember the holding of the thumb trick if the full eagle arms is not accessible to you. And if you're having difficulty getting the eagle arms, remember, crossing the elbows, bend the elbows, and then wrap the hands together or around. 1 more breath in this pose. Make sure that you have a nice bend in the front knee. And on the next exhale, releasing, straightening that front knee. That feels really good now. Pivoting both feet forward. Grab or clasp your hands behind your back. Really bring those shoulder blades together. Bend the front knees. And then bending forward this time around, trying to reach with our hands into the sky to get some additional shoulder opening that is so much needed when we spend so much time in front of our devices. Holding this for 2 more breaths. And on the next exhalation, gently unclasp your hands, release them down to the floor, and helping with your hands, bending through the knees. Let's come up to standing. Shimmy your feet together. Let's hook the thumbs. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, straighten, and hands down to your sides. And this brings us to the end of this practice. Thank you for practicing, and I'll see you soon.